Hi, kindergarten, first and second grade leaders. We are preparing for September 9th in our series starting in the beginning in the book of Genesis. Your opening activity or social activity for this series is in a little box that looks like this. It has a bunch of would you rather questions. Your kids love these questions. They love sharing their ideas. You can encourage them to be extra creative. It's also a really good time to help our youngest ones remember what it's like, what we do in small group, that we practice listening to each other so that everybody gets a chance to visit. I know one of the things that I learned a long time ago is if you have a kid that's having a hard time and keeps talking over everybody, just remind them that as much as they want to be listened to, everybody else in the group wants to be listened to as well. I know it's a process, and I know that you guys are fabulous leaders with our youngest ones, so I know you'll do fine with that. Just trying to help you remember how to handle some of those situations. All right, then we will move into large group, and today we are concentrating on what happened on day 6 when God created man. And we're really going to lean in on the idea that God created man in his image. That's going to be like really hard. If it's not hard for you, it's going to be really hard for your kids to understand. Does that mean that I look exactly like God? Does that mean I look exactly like Jesus? Or helping them understand that God created you with a special design in mind. So we are going to celebrate all of our uniqueness in our lessons today. We're continuing our coin drive with Operation Christmas Child, so remember to help your kids remember to bring their coins. Our goal is $1,000, and I know with God's help that we can get there. And if we don't, it's going to be okay. But how cool would it be to be such a testimony to the rest of the church of what kids can do when we all work together? All right. During your small group time, you're going to have a pack of paper and a stamp pad, and in your baskets that you'll share across all services, you'll have a baggie of baby wipes like this. That's to help clean off their hands, and probably some crayons, because our littlest ones still need crayons to color with the most. So what you're going to do is first take the big piece of paper and you're going to draw each kid's handprint. Now, kids have a much smaller handprint, so you could just draw their handprint on one side of the paper, and then on the other side of the paper, you're going to have them take the stamp pad and stamp one finger. Probably the thumb is easiest because it's easier to control, but if you wanted to try the pointer finger, you could do that as well. Stamp the finger, and then put it on the other side of the handprint. And then they're going to do a couple different things. In their handprint, they are going to write, or in their hand, in the 5 different holes for their hand, they are going to write 5 ways that God created them to be special and to give him glory. 1 on each finger of the handprint. And then you should give them some time to look at their fingerprint, whether it was their finger or their thumb or however you did that. Look at and compare it with their neighbors. Are there lines in different places and there are lines in somebody else's thumb or fingerprint? That's one of the ways that we can know for sure that God created us each with a unique pattern and a unique design. No 2 fingerprints are exactly the same, just like no 2 snowflakes are exactly the same. So help kids see the wonder in all of that. Your memory verse activity, you have a piece of paper that looks like this, that your words look backwards. They're supposed to look backwards. The kids are going to take the mirror and read the words through the mirror. With your littlest ones who don't read real well yet, that's okay. They can still tell that when they look through the mirror, that things look different than what they did when they first looked at it. And help them learn the memory verse together. When we are learning this memory verse, we are helping kids see that God had a plan and a design for the world and for us from the very, very beginning. Then you can pray with your group and send them on their way. This week we will make sure that each family gets a family resource guide. Those have weekly Bible studies in them for them to do together as a family so that they are learning and growing together. Thank you so much for leading and loving on kids. I'll talk to you soon.